Former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte undergoes pre-trial proceedings in absentia at the International Criminal Court. Progressive groups will mark the 40th anniversary of the People Power Revolution with separate programs after unity talks fail. Filipinos joke about a new political ship after President Marcos visited Naga City Mayor Robredo to discuss flood control solutions. An abandoned baby monkey finds comfort in an unlikely companion, a stuffed orangutan toy. And Alex Eala reaches a new career high as world number 31. Former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte undergoes pre-trial proceedings in absentia at The Hague on Monday, February 23, Manila time. International Criminal Court Deputy Prosecutor Mandiaye Niang delivers the prosecution's opening statement.
Today marks an important day for international justice, for the people of the Philippines, for the victims, and for this court. It is also a reminder that those in power are not above the law.
Niang also says Duterte is criminally responsible for crimes against humanity of murder and attempted murder. The ICC Deputy Prosecutor also reads out Duterte's public statements to show his, quote, criminal plan and his intent were no secret. Filipino lawyer Joel Butuyan, who represents the victims' families, warns the ICC pre-trial chamber that if the charges against Duterte would not be confirmed, the virus of impunity would continue to spread in the Philippines.
Mr. Duterte has created clones of himself. He converted millions of peace-loving citizens into bloodthirsty disciples who have become converts to the belief that violence and killings are valid solutions to societal problems. Your Honors, there is only one solution to stop the impunity propagated by Mr. Duterte from continuing to bring harm and suffering to the victims. And that is for this honorable chamber to confirm the charges so that witnesses can testify and evidence can be presented on the horrible crimes committed by Mr. Duterte. The testimonies and evidence presented will inoculate these mini Dutertes from the virus of impunity that has infected them. Many of these mini Dutertes or Duterte clones are actually victims of massive doses of fake news widely circulated online. They need to be vaccinated with the truth. Truth is the antidote to the virus of impunity, Your Honors. The victims dread a future where charges are not confirmed in this case. It will mean that the virus of impunity will continue to spread and infect many more. Victims fear that Duterte clones will become an even bigger group that can elect another apostle of impunity as the Philippines' next leader. Imagine a leader like Mr. Duterte, who proudly and publicly proclaimed his aspirations of following the footsteps of Adolf Hitler when he said, quote, Hitler massacred 3 million Jews. Now there are 3 million drug addicts. I'd be happy to slaughter them, unquote. And yet, he is idolized by a multitude of Filipinos. The defense will claim that he was merely bombastic and acerbic when he made these statements. But if he were merely being pompous and flippant, the people who were killed should be alive and laughing today at his supposed pranks and stunts.
Duterte's lawyer Nicholas Kaufman also delivers a bombastic opening speech for the defense, heavily borrowing from the diehard Duterte supporters' playbook. Kaufman says the charges against his client are politically motivated, claiming the media and civil society are complicit in building that image.
Your Honours, over the next few days, we hope to convince you of the wholly insufficient nature of the evidence against Rodrigo Duterte. We will show you that the paltry number of speeches on which the prosecution rely do not manifest criminal intent. We will also convince you that as hard as they tried, the prosecution's investigators couldn't get even one of its criminal cooperating witnesses, whose reliability is next to zero, to admit that they heard the former president, Rodrigo Duterte, give an order to kill at any time relevant to the charges, or with respect to any of the incidents. And we hope that when you conclude your deliberations, Your Honours, that you will dismiss these grievously misplaced and politically motivated charges. We will ask you to send Rodrigo Duterte back to his family, and we will ask you to give back to the Filipino people their tatay digong.
Progressive groups will mark the 40th anniversary of the EDSA People Power Revolution on Wednesday, February 25, but they will hold separate programs after talks to coordinate actions failed. Bagong Alyansang Makabayan President Renato Reyes says attempts to unite with the Trillion Peso March movement failed despite 2 meetings earlier this month. As a result, different protest actions will proceed separately even if they end up in the same general area along EDSA. The Trillion Peso March movement will hold its program at the People Power Monument while Bayan will gather at the EDSA Shrine. The lack of unity stems from disagreements over political demands and protest plans. In a Facebook post, Trillion Peso March movement convener Francis D. said their protest will focus on calls to jail corrupt officials, pass an anti-dynasty law, and strengthen anti-corruption measures. Meanwhile, Bayan is calling for the resignation of both President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Vice President Sara Duterte, among other demands. Filipinos discover a new ship to make fun of after President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s visit to Mayor Robredo to discuss solutions to flooding problems in Naga City and the rest of Camarines Sur. The highly publicized meeting between the two former rivals sparked jokes, memes, and opinions online about a potential pink-red political partnership, nicknamed by some as Unipink.
The most political thing that we did today, I wore my pink socks. My pink socks in honor of Mayor Lenny.
The pink socks fueled online speculation about possible overtures to the pink political camp ahead of the 2028 elections, especially after his spokesperson also wore pink in a recent presser. Despite Marcos's insistence that there was no political meaning behind the Naga handshake, Filipinos spent Saturday, February 21 speculating about possible political implications. At a zoo outside Tokyo, the monkey enclosure has become a popular attraction because of an unlikely pair. Punch, a baby Japanese macaque, and his stuffed orangutan toy. Punch's mother abandoned him when he was born 7 months ago. A visitor noticed and alerted zoo staff, who quickly stepped in to help. A zookeeper says Japanese baby macaques usually cling to their mothers to build muscle strength and feel secure, so Punch needed quick intervention. The keepers tried different substitutes, including rolled-up towels and other stuffed toys, before finally choosing the orange, bug-eyed stuffed orangutan. Since then, Punch has rarely been seen without the toy, dragging the cuddly orangutan around even though it is bigger than him. His zookeeper adds he is steadily integrating with other monkeys, and there will come a day when he no longer needs his stuffed toy. Filipina tennis star Alex Eala rises to a new career-high number 31 in the latest WTA rankings released Monday, February 23. This after her quarterfinals run in the Dubai Tennis Championships. Eala advanced to the quarterfinals of a WTA 1000 tournament for the second time in her career. In Dubai, Eala beat Hailey Baptiste in a walkover in the round of 64, upset world number 7 Jasmine Paolini in the round of 32, and defeated Sorana Kirsty in the round of 16. That set up a quarterfinal clash with two-time Grand Slam champion and world number 4 Coco Gauff, who dominated Eala. Gauff thanks Eala for bringing a new demographic to the sport as she attracts huge crowds to the tournaments. Players like 24-time Grand Slam champion Novak Djokovic describe packed stadiums as a good problem. Gauff says, "I know sometimes it's tough when you're playing against a home crowd, but I think that it's great for the sport, so keep being enthusiastic and keep rooting for your player." She shares her secret to not being affected by Eala's fans. "Whenever you guys are cheering for Alex, I was pretending that it was my name. I think that it helped me a lot. If you can't beat them, you've got to join them." Eala heads to the United States next to compete in the prestigious Indian Wells Open. And that's today's wrap. I'm JC Gotinga. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. For more updates, download the Rappler app.